Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ITSnippets. Today I'm going to show you how to build and test your components before assembling them into a PC. As you see, I have my MSI MAG X57AS Torpedo Max motherboard. I have my AMD Ryzen 7 5700G. I have my Corsair Vengeance LPX 2x16. And just off to the side you can see I have a power supply. This is a modular power supply. It's a Corsair RM750, which you can just see on the side. Appears to be upside down. Interesting, because that looks the right way up to me. Maybe it's just the logo that's upside down. In any case, let's get building. So first thing we need to do is take our motherboard out of the box. And we're going to use the motherboard case, or motherboard box itself rather, to do this test. So you should have an anti-static strap on. I can't reach mine just now. Oopsie, hold on. Take this out, place it on here. So depending on your motherboard and depending on your cooling, you may have to change things here. I suspect I'll have to unscrew these in order to mount my cooling fan. It's just slightly off camera. Let me just move that back into the frame and just go grab my tools. Hopefully I'll only need a star screwdriver for this. And I'm now practicing what I preach. I have my anti-static strap on and I need to find something metal to connect it to. That's not going to interfere with what I'm doing. So there we go, I'm now connected to my desk. Okay, so we should take out our CPU and place it in first. You might be able to hear spike in the background. That's unfortunately what happens as soon as I hit the record button. So here we go, as you can see, this is unopened. I'm just going to take my blade, slide it across here. This CPU does come with a cooler. If yours doesn't, then you'll actually have to get a separate cooler. There is my CPU. A little warranty card by the looks of it. A little certificate of authenticity. And here is my included Wraith cooler. It does actually say in the box the cooler is included. And there we go. So I'm just going to empty that out of the box just now. As you can see, this does have some thermal paste on it. Feel free to replace that or add to it as required. This one's going to be stock because I am going to be upgrading it at some point anyway, so I'm just going to leave it as is. We take that part off, and you can see we have our power cable just wrapped around the outside. Okay, so let's place this over here for now. In fact, I can hover over and try and see. Okay, so it looks like that goes on that way, which means that I do have to remove these retaining brackets here. We just take our star screwdriver. So once those 4 screws are removed, these just lift off. Okay, and we should remove or roll back this retaining arm all the way back. Okay. Now you're going to see my bald head as I try and find, there's a little triangle there, and it looks like it's marked over here at the top, and there's a little triangle on your CPU as well, so I believe that should go in that way. So let me just open my CPU. should just be placed on and fall into place, which it did. And then we should be able to push the retaining arm down, and there shouldn't be any resistance. If there's any resistance or the chip doesn't go in correctly, lift up a bit and then place it back down. So now we shall take our cooler. We need to find out where our CPU fan header is. Just move this up a frame a bit, which is marked here. So that's where we will be connecting our CPU fan, which is here. So we want to try and route that as best as possible. This has to go on this way, so we could take it all the way around, but that'd be a bit tension wise. Or we can do it this way, and that makes it nice and close. So this way we'd probably be pushing it to go round, or this way where it might not be so bad. So we're going to try it this way and put less pressure on it. So we just try and line this up correctly. That way. Okay. Okay. Now what we want to do is tighten these up. Just a little bit each time, not too tight, and we want to do it at opposing angles, which I have tightened this one too much, so I'm going to have to unscrew it a bit. Okay. These are on springs, so you may have to press down a little bit. Oh, that noise is terrible. So we're just going to try and get them started in each of the corners. Let's move our CPU cable out of it just now. That noise does not sound healthy. Okay, so they seem about as tight as they were when I took them off. So we'll want to take our CPU fan plug and connect it. As you see, it's notched, so it should only go in one way. There we go. Hang that over here just now. And we'll take our RAM, and we need to open these two slots here. Obviously, another component that you may have is a graphic card, which I'm not putting in this as it has onboard graphics, and for what I'm using it for, that's fine. We have our RAM open. What we need to do is we need to take our sticks of RAM and look at the notch And with these fully open, we try and line the notch up by sliding it in. That seems okay. And then we press down with both thumbs on each side until we hear the click. Hear that? So put it in, making sure these are fully open. Press down with both thumbs until you hear the click, and you can see that these have jumped into place. Okay. So we now have our cooler powered, we now have our CPU in, and we now have our RAM in. We have to get power to the motherboard. So I have a modular power supply for this. So things need to remember here. This is your 24-pin motherboard. Here is your 8-pin CPU, and I also have a +4 CPU in this because this motherboard is overclockable. You don't, if you have the 8 and the 4, you don't have to fill on all 8 and 4. I'm not 100% sure how that goes with my current power supply. So as a result of that, I'm hoping I'm not going to connect it. So with that in mind, my power supply is connected but is not plugged in, so I have the power cable connected. So now I just have to sort out this rat's nest of modular cables. So I will need the 24-pin motherboard one. As you can see, this one's for the CPU, so I will need one of them. And I think for now, just for testing purposes, that's all I will need. So let me get these connected. So we just untangle these. Now these should be keyed, so I can only put them in one way, as in the correct way. So I believe this one should go in here, like so. Okay, now obviously I'll route these better later on. And it should go into, that's actually upside down. There, I believe. So which way does it go? Does it go in that way? It does. Okay. Place that down just now. And then we'll take our 24-pin. That doesn't seem right. So this will be the motherboard side, and this will be the power supply side, hopefully. So let's just try that. Okay, that appears to be correct. So let's roll that round and find the notch which is there, and then slide this in. Move my screwdriver out of the way. Okay, so let's try and move this out of the way. So now we have our power connected, we have our CPU power connected, and we have our CPU fan connected. So what else will we need connected? We will need a HDMI cable. Okay, I have one here. And this will have to go into the back of the motherboard. Here. You'll just, if I fly that forward, you'll see that's been connected. Okay. So I think we're about to power this up and try it. Now there's no hard drive connected to this at the moment. I can boot it to a USB version of DOS just to check that it's actually working. So I'll take my USB stick. Move that back into frame. This this cable out of the way. Okay, so I should now have the minimum in here that I require in order to test. So let me plug it in and test. The power supply is turned off, so this should be fine. Okay. So now we need to turn the power supply on. Okay. We need to find GP1, which is this one here, and you need to short out the two power on pins. There we go. Our fan is on. It's slowing down because it doesn't need to work as hard. Let's see if I can get a picture on the screen. I'm not getting output on the screen. Let me follow that HDMI cable just in case it's incorrect. Okay, so it is actually posting, it just wasn't posting to my capture card. It says Ryzen 7 5700G with Radeon graphics, DRAM frequency 2600 megahertz. I think that's slow. Yep, it should be 3600 megahertz. But I'll be able to change that. It's seeing 32 gig of RAM. And I should probably get a picture of this to prove what I'm seeing. So it's basically stopped saying that it can't detect any devices. And to enter setup to configure the system. So give me a moment. So I don't have a keyboard and mouse connected to this, so I can't go in and set the settings just now. However, it's turned on enough to test, and I'll now go and put it inside the case. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you disliked this video, give it a dislike too. If you get feedback on this or any other videos or suggestions for videos you believe we should do in the future, then please let us know in the comments below. And most of all, thank you for watching.